Why is geography so popular among the aspirants?
This is one of the few subjects which has a appeal to the candidates from every different background. Few of the optionals are very high in scoring, few of the optionals are not scoring, and there's a trend in which UPSC is focusing on few of the optionals, and all of these are the myths. One more thing which we should not consider is whether you have a background in geography or not. It is not at all required. Okay, so it is not at all required. Anyone from any background can start fresh from zero and start preparing geography optional. So one of the myth to a great extent that geography is too vast to cover.
How scoring is this geography optional?
One who has chosen geography optional will easily cover both geography as well as environment in prelims, which will account for nearly 35 questions out of 100. We will take all measures to ensure that the entire syllabus is completely covered, because the most important part in geography optional is coverage of syllabus. Not a single topic will be left uncovered. Okay, so everything will be covered, and proper class notes will be given, and along with that some supplementary material will also be given. So we have a completely designed test series, optional test series, which will come along with the classes.
Hello and welcome everyone to this very special session for UPSC Civil Services Examination 2027. Geography has historically been a heavyweight optional chosen by thousands of aspirants for its scientific temperament and expressive nature. Given its vast syllabus, time becomes your biggest asset. To discuss why starting in March gives you a massive advantage, we have today with us our esteemed geography faculty with us, Rajesh Sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Manu.
Sir, let's set the stage right by asking the most fundamental question. Why is geography so popular among the aspirants?
Yeah, so among the many optionals available for UPSC mains, geography is one of the few subjects which has a appeal to the candidates from every different background. Okay, so a person who is from science background would see the subject of geography as something which is related to science, so in a scientific methodology. And those from arts background, okay, so obviously, so geography is usually studied as part of humanities. Okay, so and there's sufficient so human aspects to study, and so the expression of the behavioralism and all of this would have a greater appeal towards the arts background also. And coming from commerce background again, so they tend to see so the connections, right, and the logical so analysis involved. So because of this, usually, so it has an appeal to everyone, every different background who is coming from any background can choose this and have done this also. People have cleared this with a good rank, good marks. Okay, so this is one of the important factor. Other than this, even when you start to study geography as a subject, you will realize it is most practical in nature. Okay, so whatever is part of geography subjects, whether it is mountains or rivers or so let's say even the climate, we have the monsoon, cyclones. All of these aspects are most practical, which we can see it on day-to-day basis and connect easily. It is usually because of this a good number of aspirants choose geography.
Right, sir, right. Very well put up. Sir, now we have discussed why it is popular. The next aspect is that while aspirants are deciding what optionals to choose, and if they are considering geography as their optional, what factors they should consider while deciding it?
Okay, so before coming to what factors should be considered, let me just clarify what are the factors should not be considered.
Okay,
so because there's a common misconception in UPSC preparation that so for example scoring. Okay, so people think that few of the optionals are very high in scoring, few of the optionals are not scoring, and there's a trend in which UPSC is focusing on few of the optionals, and all of these are the myths and should not be considered. Okay. And so for example, in the top 10 ranks in the last year, how many candidates took this optional and how many cleared with a very good marks? So these are definitely not the criteria. And particularly when it comes to geography, one more thing which we should not consider is whether you have a background in geography or not. It is not at all required. Okay, so it is not at all required. Anyone from any background can start fresh from zero and start preparing geography optional. So now coming to the factor which one has to consider, the most important factor is the interest. Okay, so if you, with the basic reading of the subject, if you are getting so a connection with the geography, so if you are interested to study all of this, okay, so definitely you can go ahead. Okay, so the most important factor is the interest. Okay, so because there are a few challenges every optional will have its own challenges. Geography has its own challenge. Okay, so and in that, if you have a genuine interest and genuine connect with the optional, so you can easily overcome those challenges and score very well in geography.
Okay, okay. So these are the factors that one should consider and one should not consider also. There's one myth associated with geography optional, that it is too vast to cover. Is that true, or is there any smart way around it?
So yeah, so this is one of the myth to a great extent, that geography is too vast to cover. So but so UPSC has planned all the optional subjects in a very scientific manner, that every optional requires almost the same time of preparation. So let's try to see it as so the volume of preparation. Okay, so volume is depend upon two factors, the area as well as depth. In some optional, the area is less, but the depth is more. In some optionals, area is more, but the depth is less, but the volume is same. And also, so the initial preparation may take lesser time. Okay, so one may take lesser time to get introduced to the subject and cover the entire syllabus. But once you actually start preparing by yourself, you would take more time. And once you start writing the answer, okay, so that extra value addition, the connection, in-depth analysis, and current connection, when you consider all of these factors, the time would be higher.
Right.
Okay, so it's not just the how many number of days you will take to finish the initial coaching and then like you have the notes ready. No, you have to see the entire aspect. How much of time is given for the classes? How much of time is given for so self-study? How much of time is required for value addition? Okay, so and how much of time you need while writing the answers and writing tests? Considering all of this, it is not. Okay, so in my opinion, in my honest opinion, every subject requires the same amount of time.
Right, right.
But there are few things. Okay, so if you see the syllabus of geography optional, the number of topics are high. As I told you, the number of topics are high. It's not the depth. Not every topic is required to be studied in the same depth. Okay, so because of the greater number of topics, the initial preparation will take longer time. Okay, so usually, so if one is taking a class, coaching class for geography optional, so a minimum of 6 to 8 months would be required for completing the syllabus thoroughly. Right. But once that is done, your job will be easier. If you do complete thorough preparation of the syllabus, so your job will be easier because you don't have to go into depth after that first round. You have to revise and you have to write answers and so bring some current updation.
Right.
Okay, so the smart way around that is so when you start your preparation, cover it thoroughly. Okay, so and then start writing the answer and then start connecting the different concepts within the geography, so it makes it easier.
Right, right. Sir, now let's come to the business aspect of geography. Many of the aspirants have this question, that how scoring is this geography optional? What is your take on that?
Okay, so again regarding the scoring, I have my so honest opinion here. Every optional is scoring. Every optional is scoring, provided you have a genuine interest and you have done the hard work. Okay, so you have a genuine interest, you have a genuine connect with that subject. Okay, of course, everyone will not have connect with every subject.
Right.
Okay, so once you start reading, you get more interest and you start to go dwell in more detail, and you are easily able to remember the things. You are easily able to correlate. That means you have a natural connect over there. Right. Having that natural connect and doing the hard work which is required. Every optional requires that hard work. If it is done, every optional is scoring.
Okay.
Okay. The point is how easily one can do this hard work. How easily one can score.
Right.
So there comes so the support system. How established sources one has. Okay, so how much of so the support in terms of the mentoring, or in terms of the test series, or let's say so the answer writing practice. Okay, so or even for a subject like geography, which has established as a discipline itself over a period of time, there's enough textbooks. Okay, so and also in the context of UPSC, one of the so most chosen subject historically. So there is a very clear-cut method of so scoring high.
Right.
Because if you do this, okay, so this is going to go well. If you draw more maps, if you make it more structural, if you add more flow charts, you are going to score well. These things are very well established in geography. Okay, so that makes it a very scoring option.
So when it comes to scoring, there's one aspect, it's about geography optional, but then we have its relevance across, I think, all the 3 stages of the examination. What is your take on that? How is geography optional relevant to prelims and specifically mains?
This is another very important aspect usually the aspirants tend to ignore. Okay, so while choosing any optional, of course, the first criteria I always suggest is see whether you have a genuine interest or not. You are able to connect with the subject. In addition to that, also see how much it is going to contribute in your entire UPSC preparation, the general studies. And geography as an optional has a major role to play in all three stages. Talking about the prelims, one who has chosen geography optional will easily cover both geography as well as environment in prelims, which will account for nearly 35 questions out of 100.
Right.
And if you have chosen geography as your optional, you don't have to read anything else. You have to work on practicing questions, that is there. Okay, so that is definitely you have to do that. But otherwise, you don't have to prepare anything exclusive. The entire geography section is covered in prelims and the entire environment section is covered in prelims because environment is a major part of geography. Right. Environmental geography is part of physical geography itself. Okay, so your prelims is taken care. 35 out of 100, so you're already well ahead of many others. In mains, both GS1 and GS3 combined will contribute more than 250 marks. It is a very less known fact that more than 250 marks. In fact, after this year's mains of UPSC, I had taken another session also where we had discussed what are the questions which have come in so GS1 as well as GS3, and we'll be surprised to know that more than 280 marks were there this year. Right. Because in GS1 there is a section of entire geography. Okay, so geography as well as environmental geography is there. In GS3 we have some of the topics of economics, okay, so which are related to geography, that is agriculture, infrastructure. All of this we'll study in detail in geography option. And then there is a environment section itself. Okay, so in GS3 that is dealt over there. Disaster management is dealt over there. In fact, some of the aspects of security is also dealt over there. For that matter, some of the parts of society in GS1 is also dealt here. Okay, the topics of urbanization, population, demography, the settlements, all of these are dealt here also. Considering all of these, if one is choosing geography as an optional, your 250 marks for sure is guaranteed in mains. Because you have already studied in that depth. Right. You don't have to study anything else for GS. Right. Of course, you have to practice. Right. Because so there is the approach for GS answers are a little bit different from the optional answers. Right. You have to so practice the answer writing. Right. Right. And interview, obviously, it's like when we talk about interview. So whenever a person is preparing for interview, whether it is a home state or it's a home district. Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind, anyone's mind, is the geography. Right. Okay, so one with a geography background has a better connect.
Right. Very well put up, sir. So let's come to the ecosystem that Vision is providing. We are starting with the optional foundation course on 18th of March. What all services are we offering in this program?
So first thing, we will have a comprehensive coverage of the entire syllabus. Okay, so even though in the brochure we have mentioned it's around 120 classes, it will go more than 120 classes. Okay. Okay, so and we would not compromise just because the number of classes are mentioned. We will take all measures to ensure that the entire syllabus is completely covered, because the most important part in geography optional is coverage of syllabus. Not a single topic will be left uncovered. Okay, so everything will be covered and proper class notes will be given, and so along with that some supplementary material will also be given. Okay, so this is part of the preparation. In addition to that, for practice, answer writing. Okay, so we have a completely designed test series, optional test series, which will come along with the classes. One who is taking this optional foundation is not required to choose that separately. Okay, so in addition to this, there is a proper mentoring support. Okay, so whoever is facing any kind of issue, or even if it is not issue, just want some clarity or some suggestions, they can talk to our mentors. There is a complete mentorship support for geography optional also, and they have access directly to the faculty. Okay, so me and Rajesh Sir is going to handle this. Okay, so they can directly come and talk to us anytime. Okay, so during the class, after the class. So beyond that, yeah, mapping is a very important aspect, and the entire mapping as a course comes with this foundation. Okay, so because every year we conduct this mappings as a so add-on course separately, that is part of this course. Right. So in addition to that, the great learning experience of so having if at all one is coming to the offline. Okay, so definitely that offline connect is there. Right. And you're sitting in front of the faculty and trying to so understand things. Okay, so that's much more easier. And for those who are not able to come, there is online. Okay, so live online session is there, which is along with the recorded ones.
Right. So there is a whole ecosystem of services that we'll provide for
completely. It completely covers. You don't have to do anything else. if you're going for this.
Right. Sir, specifically the timing of this optional course, it is in March. Why is it important for an aspirant who is going to appear for mains in 2027 start in March? How does it help him?
So basically, so see, optional preparation, I would say, so coverage of the classes as well as the self-study would require a minimum of 8 months. Okay, so and if one has done this, you will get a lot of confidence for prelims.
Right.
And this is the best time for that. You start your optional preparation right now. By December, your optional preparation is done. Okay, so not only the classes, you would also have done self-study. That is what we suggest. Okay, so we continuously encourage our students to so do the self-study and self-preparation along with the classes. People think that okay, let's finish the classes first and then we'll study together. No. Okay, so that is why we have also designed the tests assignments in such a manner that one has to complete their self-study.
Right.
So along with the classes, if you complete self-study by December, your option is entirely ready. Then you can completely focus on prelims from January, which is usually the ideal case.
Right.
And after prelims, you just have to focus on answer writing.
Right.
Okay, so in between the prelims and mains aspect. So if one is serious about 2027, this is the right time.
Right. Right. Very well put up, sir. One last tip from your side for those who have chosen optional or they are deciding to choose optional as geography.
See, so honestly, even I am not from a geography background. I started studying geography long ago, so in my school and college, and I had a a genuine connect with geography. Okay, so and after my engineering, I had completed long ago, so that was 2008, and I took some master program in Delhi University that was from environmental studies. Throughout this entire period, it's been nearly 17 years, and it has always been the subject where I don't get bored of. I always feel that natural connect, and even after 17 years of study, there's more to understand. Okay, so I never feel that okay, so I'm bored now. So you will not be bored at all if you take geography as option. If you have that natural interest, so you are welcome. Let's study together.
Thank you, Rajesh Sir. Thank you for these practical and detailed insights. The message is loud and clear for geography optional. Interlinking, mentoring, answer writing, and the whole ecosystem provided by VisionIAS is crucial for your preparation. We are starting with a new batch on 18th of March, and for more details about that batch, you can look up the description of this video. Thank you for joining us, and all the best for your preparation.